Pew. Pew.
Hey guys! Hi, can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah, we're good. Let me make sure. Audio peaking? Testing? Okay, I think it's not peaking. I needed to double check. Hello, hi. Hello, Kiki. Welcome in. Hi, Short T. Hello. Oh my gosh, Anna feeling better now that your favorite astronaut is live? Oh yeah, take that, Buzz Aldrin. Yeah, suck my nuts. I'm better. Oh, I'm
Pew.
Yikes. Ooh. Is that not a good look? Should I be humble? Do I need to be humble? Do I have to be like, oh, you know, the other astronauts, they're not bad? As if I would do that. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me pouring water, but I'm getting a cup of water. I'm sipping on some water. If you're wondering what we're doing today, I prepared a 50-page PowerPoint slide deck for you. We don't have to go through all of it. I just have a lot of background information, just in case one of you tries to add me. All right. Carbon even capable of being humble? All the time, yeah. 50 pages? Yo, quite a bit. Here, let me count actually. So about 50 pages. It's actually 70. I just scrolled and I looked. It's a lot more than 50. Whoops. Oh my god. Oh my. Okay. So I guess I should just go say hi to you guys. Oh shoot. I almost forgot to do the most important part. 1 second.
Pew.
Okay. I forgot to set me up. That's really important. The hardest part of me setting up VTuber Me is when I'm setting up my what is it called? When I'm setting up my VTuber model and I have to not talk while it like calibrates. That's the hardest part. That's the tragedy in it. I'm like, oh no, but I want to talk. But it's okay. We're better. We can lock in. We can do this. Ready? Hello, hi Carbon. Hi Chippy. Hi. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. How are you doing? Oh, what's happening? Don't push yourself too hard. I agree. Okay. You know how I was watching the villainous swap anime. There's this anime that's out this season where the female protagonist, our main lead, swaps bodies with another person, and swaps bodies with the villainess, who's like super evil and trying to get her. Okay, I forget what it's called, but regardless, the reason why I bring it up is the the female lead, she's normally in like this really frail body, and then she swaps to the villainess's way healthier body and is like super happy that she can do all this stuff. They're like super awesome, and they're like, ah, yes, I have so much stamina. But a couple episodes in, she passes out again anyway because of overwork. All right? Like, you gotta care for your body. The reason why you are able to continue to go is you need to to tune the amount of work you do. Okay, like hard work is important, but you also need to not physically pass out. All right, so let's not do that, guys. Okay, promise, no physically passing out. All right, though I am inept villainous. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Oh, I'm gonna turn on the AC a little bit. I forgot. Okay, sorry, it's a little warm. Okay, hey Carbon, do you have any plans for future redeems? I just realized I have like 16k channel points. I do have plans for future redeems. I've just been super busy with birthday prep. Like, I've been trying to get that done in time so that I can have a good birthday, even though it's a month late. I think it's still important to celebrate birthdays, even if you can't like do it at the time, because I had a lot of stuff going on. I had to move and do a bunch of things. I even did a little secret travel trip. That's the trip to Korea. That was really fun, but I need to catch up on all the works for you guys. Okay, I want to do that. Dude, throwing asteroids at you in my mind. What? That'd be so fun though. I would love that. You guys want them some tits, some Twitch integrated throwable systems? I think it's really funny that they named it that. Yeah, you do want it. Okay. W tits. I always love developers who name their things in really silly ways. There's actually a pair of scientists who collaborated to work together because their names made a funny acronym. What was it? I forget what it was, but they like were in separate fields. Two scientists that collaborated to publish because their names were funny. Okay, what was the... I'm looking it up. I'm trying to find it. It was a really big thing. It's a constant joke. Oh my! There's two mathematicians, David Cox and Steven Zucker, and they decided to work together so they could publish a paper and name a theory the Cox-Zucker theory. Oh my! Wow! Oh no! Cox later recalled shortly after meeting Steven Zucker that they had to write a joint paper because their surnames together would be remarkably obscene. And they worked on algebraic geometry and named their algorithm and their like theory the Cox-Zucker machine. Oh no. That is amazing. Genuinely, actually, I love that. That's freaking peak. That's peak. The best part is because surnames are always alphabetically ordered, the Cox always comes before the Zucker, which is amazing. So you can't call it the Zucker Cox machine. That's incorrect. Oh man, I love a little trolling. Okay. Do. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a good day today. How are you all doing? Yeah. Pew. Welcome in. Oh, hello Zumi. I hope you're doing well. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the correct, like, how to describe it? Correct social etiquette is to ask a pregnant woman if they've popped yet. But congrats, or I hope it's going well. I don't know, Zuby. I hope you're okay. I'm sorry. Don't look. I'm sorry. I've been popped. Oh my! Congratulations! Congratulations on the baby. I'm glad that it was a successful delivery. Okay, you know, like last time you came into stream, you were like, I'm really pregnant, and I'm just like, whoa, okay, that's kind of crazy. I didn't even know you had a partner, let alone a baby, and that you were like fully like 8 months preggo. Okay, now I'm just like, did it go well? I'm glad it went well. Or okay, I should stop talking about this. I should. Yes, congrats. I'm so today we will also be talking about cloning and like ruining human ethics for babies. So if your baby is nearby, you might want to like cover their ears a little bit. Like maybe don't talk. We're we're gonna go over some of that. All right. Yeah, it'll be fine. Surely. Hell yeah, I'm turning it up. Oh boy. Okay, so before I like get too into it, I guess I can start moving chat. I'm gonna start moving chat so you can like kind of start seeing what I'm doing. All right. Presenter view, please. Yes. I have the slide deck out. It's amazing. It's so good. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, wow, who's this amazing presenter? By the way, I won an award for scientific presentation. Can't you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe like, wow, this is the guy. This is him. He got motion. He's the Chad. So I don't know if you'll believe that after this. What a wonderful stream intro. Yes, welcome. Hi. It's totally fine. Okay. Let me move this chat. I'm gonna bring you guys up as the mini chat. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn down the background a little bit. Yeah, like that. Nice, so that we can get some good focus. Hey, is it still Monday? Oh, I guess I should change the stream title, huh? It is Wednesday. We did co-working yesterday on Tuesday. That was very nice. Wednesday, I am typing. What am I typing? My brain is off. Some Otakon. No, I'm not gonna type Otakon. Maybe, I don't know. SEO, science, yap thing. Close enough. All right. I don't know. Since when has Twitch titles ever done anything for anyone? All right. It's Wednesday. Oh yeah, it's Wednesday. Sorry. Timing. A slight announcement. Slight announcement for you guys. Next Tuesday for co-working, I'm gonna have to talk to the mods. We're gonna substitute it for something else because I'm gonna be out that Tuesday. I'm gonna be out. One of my friends invited me to go shopping, and I was like, ooh, I have my color analysis. I want to go buy new clothes. So yeah, I wanna get some new clothes because I did like this fancy color analysis in Asia, and they told me what colors that I look good in, scientifically, of course, you know. So I wanna pick the best colors that I could possibly have. Yeah. So that next Tuesday I will be out. I'll send you a haul. Who knows? You touching grass? Okay, whatever. You go carve. Hey, sometimes I gotta leave the space station, okay? It can get lonely in here. Otherwise, I'll go insane. All right. Who even goes out these days? Hello? I think for clothes especially, you should go out and try them on. Like, I think online ordering is much harder for clothing. You made a Pinterest board for me? Ooh, thank you, Shorty. Also, sexually attracted to pants. Hello. Welcome in. There are no pans here, so keep it in your pants, okay? I'm sorry. I know, sometimes the usernames like really get me. Anyway, as you can see in the slide back here, I have an image. This is the start of my 70-page PowerPoint. Well, technically it's a Google Slides. I've completely moved away from PowerPoint to Google Slides. I think Google Slides is a superior service, personally. Hashtag not sponsored. Oh my god, don't clip me. Oh my god, Microsoft, please don't lose the sponsorship. Oh my god, I need that Microsoft money. Oh, I should have said that. Oh no, Daddy Microsoft, I'm so sorry. Please. It was a mistake. I just realized. Oh no, there goes the sponsorship. Oh. I failed. I just lost billions of dollars instantly. What happened to being PR trained? Oh, damn. Oh, PowerPoint is objectively mid. I was about to say I agree, but some may agree with that statement, but it is your personal opinion, you know? Oh boy. Hi, is this stream just some nerd yapping about things? It is, actually. Let me change the category to science, actually. That's a good category. All right. I'm not changing the stream title to Daddy Microsoft. Okay. Let me do a little brief introduction. So also thank you for the follow, Oliver. I appreciate it. So for those of you who don't know, I went to Otakon as a guest. I think a month ago. I flew out to DC. I saw the Smithsonian. I went to go see the Space and Flight Museum. So I went to go see that. I explored the general area. I looked at the reflecting pond, the one where there's like a bunch of algae growing in it, and I was like, whoa, that's a lot of algae. So that was really fun to do. I did really enjoy exploring the city, but I was mainly there to give a panel. So Otakon invited me as an official guest to host a anime-themed science panel, and this was the panel that I did. However, because you guys are all little smarticles, you know, you're carbon dots with me, okay? You've gone through the very intensive space program, all right, the space training program. This panel has the full scientific information. The one that I hosted at Otakon was tailored for people with like high school level education and much more bare bones. This one, you have to have done a little college, okay? Like I think you have, like, it's definitely collegiate, okay? We won't go into any math, but the concepts are, well, okay, we're going to the cutting edge of science, okay? You kind of have to be, like, this is like people's grad school theses, okay? So you're getting the director's cut, which is why it's 70 pages. There was training. Oh, you missed that? You'll be fine. We're just gonna throw you out here. You'll be fine. But this is the same intro and everything. And so we're gonna do, I'll explain it to you. But the gist is I'm gonna show you two things from anime, and then I ask the crowd, the audience, I say, which one do you think is more likely? Like, which one do you think we're closer to, you know? I kind of already spoiled the first one because I talked about it in a previous stream. So if you remember, try not to spoil it for the others, okay? I know we got some new people in today, so and people watching the VODs as well. So if you don't oh, 1 second. Sorry, we got some alarms. Okay. The FBI not liking what we're covering. But we're going to compare two different things from anime, sci-fi, fantasy things from anime, and then ask ourselves, hey, which one is closer? And then go over like real world examples of like things that are close-ish to it, and then decide amongst ourselves which one we think will happen faster, you know? All right? Yeah, hi Fred. It'll be fine. So this is like my little intro. Do I put on the astronaut helmet? What do you think? Helmet? Yeah, I think it's a helmet. I think it's a helmet angle today. Today's a helmet angle. Alrighty. So this is how I hooked the audience when I first started in Otakon. I was like, yeah, I guess we can just get going, right? Yeah, we can get going. This is how I I hooked the audience. I was like, hey guys, at an anime convention, all of you who have booked this panel and chosen to sat down here, have you watched an anime on Animers? And of course everyone's like, yes, I have. And then I'm like, but have you watched an anime and wondered, whoa, how far are we from this really? Like, are we close to cyberpunk spinal injections and Gundam, nerve gear, cat girls, psychopaths, moral judgment systems? Well, you are in the right place. This is how I introduce people. By the way, slight presenters tip. This is me being a little bit meta about the presenters and also talking about my experience about Otakon paneling. First off, there's like a ton of VTuber tech issues, so it was a little bit hard to set up, but I was able to do it in time. Secondly, I really like for panels, every time I give a scientific presentation of any kind, I always tell people this is what the panel is about. Within the first minute, you have to say what your gist is. And this is my gist. We're talking about how far are we from these anime things in reality, okay? So I'm like, here's the gist. This is what we're. And then you always follow it up with, why the fuck should you listen to me? All right? Why the hell should you listen to me? All right? And this is I put some stuff. I was like, hey, I'm a published scientist and engineer, and I made like wearable tech. I've done aerospace. I've done some bioengineering. I've launched a rocket. The other stuff, just don't worry about the other stuff. Yeah. And then I put my little intro card, and this is like the title that they have for the panel, and then we get into it. Yeah, you know. And then I introduce a game. I like the format for this because when I was doing the panel, one thing I don't like about panels is I don't want them to become lectures. You know, I think it can be very easy to have a science talk become a lecture. I think having it involved is nice because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. This is where it differs from like an actual science talk, you know? But because we're in a stream setting, like I love and I enjoy chat messages from you guys. Feel free to like ask questions and yap about it. We can derail all we want. Okay, we have all the time in the world. It's just us yapping and we're being silly. If we don't get through everything, that's totally fine. I have no plans for us to get through all of it. Blah, 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 proper name, place, backstory stuff. All right, let's get into it. This one, I was really excited for the comparison. I love this comparison so much. All right, here's the game. Which of these two anime things is closer? Attack on Titan ODM gear or Gundam? All right? Yeah. Okay, some of you may already know this, so keep your mouth shut. All right? But I wanted to compare which of these technologies, like the 3D maneuver gear you see in Attack on Titan anime, or like literal Gundam mech suits, all right? And the reason why I made this comparison is because it like puts you into the mind of, oh, would we ever make this thing? Like, which is more technologically feasible and why? And then so I like explain how each bit works in the anime version, and then I talk about like some of the science behind it. And mind you, omnidirectional mobility gear, the ODM gear, the 3D maneuver stuff that they have on Attack on Titan, this shit is kind of complicated. Turns out that the creator of Attack on Titan was just like, here's some like filler episodes, not in the filler episodes. There's like, oh, your favorite character is bleeding out, dying on the floor. Here's like the screen. And instead of being like a little cut from one section to another, they show you this brief image describing something central to the world lore, and they flash it on the screen for a second. And that is exactly what happened with how these maneuver gear things worked. And so it turns out that they have a bunch of cables, and inside this like big rope cable thing, there's a propeller system, and as the propeller spins, it releases the cable. Wait, do I have it? Here's a better one. So there's like some propellers inside this base, and there's gas, and as the gas goes out, it spins the propeller blades, and then that makes the rope come out, and so you can shoot out rope really quickly. Like that's their whole shtick. All right, yeah. OMG, I forgot that they showed this before. literally they showed this image in between one of the main characters bleeding out on the floor dying. Like it was like a super central point. I think it was like Sasha got shot or something, and then it flashes to, oh, here's the directional gear. This makes me want to watch early AOT. I think early AOT is really fun. Yeah, I love the mystery of it. It was like kind of thriller horror for a bit. So this would be able to be used in real life as well. You are so right. Okay, this is actually how grappling hooks and stuff works in real life as well. You can have a rope or like a hook that's propelled at the end of a gas canister and shot out. In fact, it's probably why we have like it's probably why it works the way it does, because the anime author looked into how grappling hooks worked. So obviously grappling hooks are a thing, you know, like Batman grappling hooks with he has like a little gun that he pulls out and he shoots, and the grappling hook flies out and he holds, and then he like presses the trigger and then it like pulls him up. That actually exists. This is a real thing. This grappling hook is real. And they even sell higher powered versions for military purposes. And all it is a compressed gas canister with some rope attached in here, and you just press the trigger and then it goes kaboom, you know, it flies out, you know, and it hooks onto something, and you press a button and there's like a motor that pulls you up. This one doesn't have a motor that pulls you up, it's just the rope. The motor is like requires a lot more strength. Not strength, it's bulkier, because you know you need the battery, you need the gripping system and everything. But theoretically something like this could be made, you know, it could be made, physically made. All right, there's just a slight problem with 3D maneuver gear that uses this principle. All right, and that problem is that if you notice, this is the gas canister for one grappling hook being fired. All right? It's just one grappling hook. This is the gas canister for Attack on Titan. And they use this to fire like 20 times in a fight. More than 20. It's like they're firing this hundreds of times, and they're using this to fly around. All right? So if you think about it, there's not enough pressurized gas that could fit in here. I looked at it and I looked at the energy density required for this. Okay, first off, this thing would have to be made of some crazy metals in order to resist the explosive force of how much gas you're stuffing in here. Also, secondly, it's a bomb. It has so much energy density that if a random scout misses and hits the ground, they should explode in a fiery explosion. Each of these gas canisters is essentially a grenade, okay? They have so much oomph packed in such a small container that these would function better. Each of these, you know, the thunder spears that they have later in the show, the explosive force of one of these gas canisters would be like 10 times that of a thunder spear. All right, like I don't care what sort of like RPG-esque like missile thing that they're trying to make, their current gas canisters are more destructive. So this is an intended feature. Oh my. Could you imagine watching Attack on Titan the anime, and every single time one of like the trainees misses and hits the wall, they explode and take off a massive chunk? Like that would be what was happening, you know? Malfunctions, explosions. True. Now, to give you to defend my point here, I want you to watch this clip. Just the briefest bit of it. All right, it is insane how much energy density is in here. Okay, so okay, look, you see Mikasa like doing her thing. She's flying around, she's being so cool. Wow, that's a lot of gas. That's a lot of like gas. What is that? Do you see that? She catches herself with the gas canister. Like, how's that possible? Wait. I missed it. She's flying. Oh my god, I hate PowerPoints. Okay. She's flying, she's doing her thing, and then she like literally catches herself with the gas canister, and it still has extra oomph. Like it has that much oomph. You're telling me if that thing hits the ground like that, it doesn't immediately explode and like kaboom and take out the entire city block? Like I'm just telling you. Yeah. FYI, for military use, grappling hooks is used by special forces. Yeah, I imagine so. Like they're nice to scale walls, like just like in superhero shows. Oh, Unrefined Chaos. Hello, thank you for the 90 stream streak. Impressive. Is potential in Warzone's trust? I don't know. I think the risk to the user using this is way too high. Okay, so that's omnidirectional gear. Okay, that's like 3D maneuver gear. All right. Now we have mechs. What about the mechs? Also my favorite anime. One of my favorite anime characters. I loved it. I love Code Geass. Anyway, yeah, what about the mechs? You know? Okay, so, you know, we have magic energy density. But mechs, like, they're a lot bigger, you know? They have a lot more space. Surely we can make those work. And to that, I have to say, it's true. You can physically build a mech. Like there's new like engineering leaps that you need to make, but it's physically possible. Whereas for the ODM gear gas canisters, that energy density is something we've never seen before, unless it's like freaking nuclear. Like unless you have a nuclear powered gas canister of some kind, you know. But for the mechs, we have a different problem of like how close are we from this? The economics are really bad. The economics to build a life-size Gundam mech is horrible, like atrociously horrible.
Hi, I'm new.
All right. Oh, come on. This is a real life thing. In 2013, the US government spent $80 million trying to build a human power suit, okay? Like in Fallout, but except a lot shittier, all right? They try to like do a little exoskeleton thing where you could like stand up and walk a little bit further and have like extra thick armoring and like vision augmentation, like what you would want out of like a power mech suit. So they were trying to build a power suit and they spent 80 million in R&D and they canned the project, all right? They canned it because it sucked. They canned it because it did not go well, all right? It's no longer being worked on. It does look cool, and some of the technology did move to other places, but it turns out that like trying to augment the human body to do that is a lot harder than just like building a fancier car with extra luggage space. Okay, so okay, hey, maybe we're not building like power suits. Okay, like you're thinking in your mind, okay, Carbon, I was talking about like mechs. I'm talking about like giant military mechs, like things that you have a big robot and you step through the city blocks and you blow stuff up. Okay, where this is too small. This is human scale. Well, I hate to tell you that fighter jets are basically mechs, okay? If you think about it, a fighter jet is a multi-billion-dollar investment research thing where they spend a shit ton of money researching and building, quote-unquote, developing a mech. And then they spend a shit ton of more money training the pilot, all right? Each F-16 pilot for a 4th gen fighter plane costs $5.6 million to train. Okay? That's to train the human inside them. The plane itself is what? I think the plane itself is $150 million. And that's considered like pretty cost effective. All right? So I'm just saying, like, we kind of already have mechs in a certain way, where we have these highly trained pilots in these super expensive mega machines that are controlled by the government and sent out to like fight enemies. You know, it's cool. You know, it's like nice to think about. But the thing is, this sort of system of how we think about weapons and war, which is, by the way, Gundam, the only reason why it like Gundam mechs are ever built in any anime is because they're going to like some crazy war situation, like aliens are invading or something, you know? Like that's the only reason why they build these. And nowadays, we're actually moving away from this system where we have a super powerful fighter jet with a very hyper specialized person inside. In fact, most things, like most modern warfare, is moving towards like drones. So you have like shitty $50 robots. Okay, it's not. You're not spending millions of dollars on a single like mega plane anymore. And so to get someone to invest that much money into a super mega machine and burden all the R&D costs, something crazy would have to happen. Like aliens would literally have to invade, right? There's no reason why we would ever build a Gundam mech, and the cost would be in the trillions to develop. All right, so yes, we got two things. All right. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry I didn't let you write, but thank you for the bits. You can tell me what you're trying to say. Mm-hmm. So, right now, between Gundams and Attack on Titan 3D maneuver gear, we have magic energy density and a horrible economics. All right? So if you think, hey, what is more likely, essentially? Do we find a way to jam-pack enough energy to level a city block into a gas canister? Or are we going to find, I don't know, a ton of reason to suddenly build a Gundam mech? Like, I think even the richest man alive right now, if they said I want to build a Gundam mech at any cost, would not be able to do it. Like a single person could not do it. It'd have to be like a worldwide humanitarian effort. Like aliens would have to invade. So that's where we're at right now. Okay. You think the Gundam is closer? I mean, maybe. Oh, iSurvivor, thank you for coming by the way. Now, I haven't told you the full story, actually. This is the spoiler bit for the people who've watched before. And this is what I revealed in the panel. So in the panel, I didn't go this much in detail, but the thing that really cinches it for me, and this is why I think we will get the Gundam mech way before any sort of 3D maneuver gear where you can like fly around like Spider-Man, is because the real limitation isn't money or magic energy density. It's the human body. You are physically limited because of a thing called G-forces. We are not well designed, okay? It was us all along. It's not the core technology. It's not the money. It's we as people cannot swing across grappling hooks. Yeah, G-forces are for fighter pilots too. Yes, you're right. And let me read Chris's message. For the record, on Pacific Rim, just building 5 mechs put the global economy in turmoil and about to collapse. I mean, that's a good example. Yeah, Pacific Rim, I like that they did like make the economy suffer for building such a crazy machine. Okay, I'm replacing my body parts. Guys, you cannot replace your body parts enough to survive these G-forces. Let me explain to you. In a fighter, not a fighter pilot, Apollo space missions, inside the launch system to go to the moon, like when astronauts sit in their cockpits, there are anti-vibrational, like there's a whole system to make sure that the vibrations don't reach the pilot and that all the turns and twists and like impacts get muffled down. And they have enough space to do that because they're in a giant spaceship, okay? Each Gundam like mech is basically a giant spaceship. So they have a bunch of absorbing systems to reduce the impact to you. But for ODM gear, you don't have that. And I'm going to try to show you how devastating those G-forces are, all right? First, we have roller coasters, all right? This roller coaster is about 1 to 4 Gs at the most. If you ever ridden a roller coaster and you like go up to the very top and you go down and your like stomach drops a little bit, you know, like you're going, oh, whoa, I'm feeling a little woozy, you know, it's a lot of G-forces. You're feeling about like nearly double to triple, sometimes 4 times the amount of your body weight onto you. 4 is like really extreme. Usually most roller coasters you've ever been on in your life stick between 1 to 2 G-forces. Also, hello Valentines, welcome in. Hi, welcome in Raiders. Welcome. We're doing a brief stream right now. I'm doing a little presentation on why or the difference between not difference. How do I describe it? I'm playing which is closer. Attack on Titan 3 maneuver gear or Gundams. And right now I'm explaining G-forces because I'm telling them the limitation is the human body. I love this image. I love this image so much. So yeah, you on a roller coaster, when you experience your body being like pushed down, that's like 1 to 2 G-forces normally. At some extreme roller coasters, they get up to 3. 4, you're dying. Like it's usually banned. All right, but you're not dying, but you can't find that normally. Now, to give you a better example of higher G-forces, we have F1 drivers. Formula 1 drivers actually experience a shit ton of G-forces. If you watch like the new Formula 1 driving movie, they like do neck exercises where you like are basically putting your entire body weight on your neck and you're like moving them around. You know why they do that? They do that because when they turn, they are essentially feeling the physical force of a grand piano on their neck. Okay? When they are like turning around in the like roundabouts in the Formula 1, the turns are so tight and the speeds are so high, they have a piano on their head. All right? It looks like an easy turn from a viewer perspective, but in order to be a driver for these cars, you have to be fit. All right, you gotta be fit. They're experiencing like, they're experiencing about like 3 to 6 Gs of force. And yeah, you have a piano on your head. And it gets even worse. So that's about like at 4 Gs, 4 to 5 Gs, you're experiencing a piano on your head. At 6 Gs, which happens during linear stops on the F1 driving track. So if you're driving in a straight line and you slam the brakes, at that point, a lot of drivers experience 6 Gs. It also can cause your eyeballs to leave your socket, okay? If you are driving at that fast and you slam the brakes, your eyeballs will pop off. That is how bad it is, all right? That is at 6 Gs, all right? And it gets higher. We can go even more. If you say, yeah, I don't care about my eyeballs. I don't care about the fact that I have to be freaking in shape and train my neck every day. All right. Let's say I want to be a fighter pilot, right? Fighter pilots experience 7 to 9 Gs on big turns, and they train for months, practice years sometimes, to get their body fit enough to hold their diaphragm so that they don't pass out when they're flying up. And not only that, if they just physically train, if all they did was to physically train, it would not be enough. It would not be enough. They would still pass out because they're wearing compression suits. They have these specialty suits that restrict their blood vessels out of their legs and their arms. It's holding the blood away from their limbs so it stays in their head. And they have to hold their breath and like brace themselves. Otherwise they pass off. All right? Like they pass out. So when I'm saying like, essentially at 9 Gs, you're hitting the upper limits of what the human body can take, of like what it's capable of. All right? Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Okay, now remember why we're here. We're here to see, hey, G-forces, the limitations of the human body. What does that have to do with swinging from Titan to Titan with my fancy little blades, all right? The forces experienced by a scout in Attack on Titan as they swing from one place to another is 12 to 30 Gs. The snapping, it's 30 Gs. A fighter pilot is 9. Okay? You're dead. You're just dead. Your body's getting ripped in half. Like by the time you do your first swing, you pass out at best, and at worst, only your torso comes up. All right? Like I'm just saying, we can make the ODM gear. Okay? It is physically possible to make gear like that and then attach like jet engine rockets to like make you be able to swing. That's doable, but no human could survive it. No, there's a reason why no one has like made a Spider-Man. Spider-Man suffers from the same problem, where if you're trying to swing from building to building, the centripetal forces of Spider-Man swinging around like New York Tower is enough to make a fighter pilots pass out. There's just no way. I wish it was a thing. So between ODM gear and giant mechs is a money problem. Eventually, maybe aliens invade and we build a big mech. ODM gear is like, we have to do magic energy density, attach rockets to people's hips, and then we also have to somehow conquer the human body in a way that we've never even considered before. Okay, these are extreme forces. Yeah. I knew it. I knew his arms are gonna tear off. Exactly. And also, I hope this gives you like some newfound perspective on the G-forces that like people experience day to day. Like, I didn't realize how athletic you needed to be an F1 driver until I started looking at the forces that they experience during turns. And then now I'm like thinking about fighter pilots. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, and they handle these forces for fractions of a second, and that's it usually. Actually, sometimes a couple seconds, but yes. Just become cyborgs. You wish. And this is me showing a little giant mech. This is an older video, but look at this guy. There's a company that was like, I want to build a little fun mech to like pilot. And look, it's like a little worker drone. Like he gets in and he can control the arms and like move them around. It's quite nice. Look at it go. See, like it's very doable. It's kind of slow, but like, hey, look at it go. Yeah, it's doable. You can make this. Expensive, purpose-wise, questionable. But yeah, we can make Gundam mechs. It goes room. Also, by the way, the company that made this said that we're doing it for completely peaceful purposes, but as soon as it closes, I don't know why there's like a display target HUD. Like, that's crazy. I don't know if you can claim that you're building this for like just a fun little side hobby, but when you close it, you start getting target optics. Like, that's a little like I don't know. Watching this like roam the streets is kind of terrifying. But like, hey. It's a prototype. Sure. Jarvis lock on target? No. So yes, that's mechs. That's mechs versus ODM gear. Here's the next one. I did three big ones. How's my pacing? Oh, not that bad. It was about like 20-30 minutes. It's spreading joy and whimsy. Yeah, totally. Okay, you want to see some joy and whimsy? You want to see some real joy and whimsy? This is the next one that I did for them. It's not the exact same comparison because I tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit more fun for you guys. We have teleportation versus human transmutation. Which one will we get to sooner?
Hi.
Hello, Killer Strick. Welcome in. Yeah, I wanted to do a little comparison of like, hey, well, can we do anime like style like teleportation, or are we gonna get are we gonna be able to make human bodies? All right, transmutation or whatever. Like, you're telling me I can like form a human clone, like make them from scratch, or can I teleport? All right. Teleportation is not happening for a while. That's what you think. That's what you think. Oh, ye of little faith. Okay. Let me blow my nose. Hello, and get some water. I'm scared. You should be. Hello, Yu. Welcome in. Aren't they kind of the same? Are they? Are they? All right. So, in order to talk about teleportation, a lot of you guys are saying teleportation. In order to talk about teleportation, we have to do a little bit of quantum mechanics, okay? I'm sorry. It's kind of shitty, but I gotta talk about it a little bit. All right, it's fine. It's not rocket science. It's just a little quantum mechanics. Yay! We got the Schrodinger's cat thing. All right. The reason why we have to talk about quantum mechanics is because teleportation, in the true sense of going from one place to another place instantly, violates the speed of light. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to violate the speed of light, okay? If you do that, you're ripping up space-time. Like, no good. That's not possible, right? But you can get close, all right? If you could travel at the speed of light, you're pretty much teleporting, all right? Like, light moves pretty fast in a local sense, not in a galactic sense, but in a local sense it does, all right? So, hey, you could technically move at the speed of light, all right? Who says who? Says who? Einstein says the theory of relativity. You literally, when people say you can't move faster than the speed of light, what they're actually saying is, as you move faster, time slows down for you, such that when you move at a certain speed, time freezes. Like, literally, it freezes. It's not that you can't go like really fast. You can go really fast. It's just you are warping. Like, between speed and time, in our human brains, we think that time is constant and our speed is relative, when in reality it's the reverse. It's that the speed is like a constant like thing and the time will actually bend. So if you start running really fast and you're like the Flash, you're running faster and faster and you're approaching the speed of light, eventually you'll hit a point where you're warping time so much that you can't experience going faster. Yeah. So the Flash is kind of accurate. I guess so. Yeah. If we already broke the speed of sound, we can break the speed of light. Trust. You're so right. I didn't have enough faith, clearly. So yes, we can go fast as light though, which is pretty cool. You know, like I think moving something quickly is good. So let's say I was able to go quote unquote teleport from one place to another with moving really quickly, or not even moving quickly. Let's say I'm trapped in a room and I physically can't leave the room. You can like scan me and then make me in another room and like pop me over there. Like, just make me do a little teleportation thing. That actually exists in quantum mechanics. There's such thing called quantum tunneling. So there's a thing where if you have a small electron and you have a really thin wall, sometimes the electron just teleports onto the other side of the wall. Like, that's a real thing. Like, the full original electron teleports over. And that also happens, that can also happen with larger things. It's just more unlikely. And the larger you increase the distance, the harder it is to teleport. But it's possible. Yeah. It's a really, really thin wall though. I mean, yes, in order to have it happen reliably, but theoretically you could have a bigger wall. Why did I want to talk to you guys about quantum mechanics? Let me see. I'm trying to think about it. I'm thinking about how to relate the uncertainty principle to this. What if we skip this? We'll skip the quantum lecture about wave function collapse, and then maybe we have to go back to it if it gets too complicated, but I'll leave it. Okay, so that's teleportation. Like, you can't really teleport, but you can move really fast at the speed of light, which is or rebuild yourself in another area, which is pretty cool. You know, there's some it's limited on speed, but it's still cool that you can traverse great distances, possibly. All right. And then, oh, I forgot where it was. Okay, now we're comparing this to human transmutation. All right, so sorry about the image. Human transmutation, like cloning, making biological creatures, it actually is possible. Let me introduce you to Dolly. This is Dolly the sheep, the baby. You see this little sheep right here? This little sheep is from this bigger sheep. Yeah, it's your little sheep. And what happened is Dolly, an adult, is the baby here. Dolly's clone mother had her cells harvested, put in a petri dish, and then grew a full ass sheep. Okay, so these two are genetically clones. They are clones, and the big deal here, and this is why it's such a landmark scientific thing, is because we got this from an adult sheep. So you don't have to, so it was previously thought for a long time that you needed to get a stem cell. You needed to get like a cell from when this person was a baby. But it turns out me going to an adult human and and cutting out a piece of their skin, I can just take that, put it into a petri dish, and grow a whole human. Like, that's what they did here. They just like cut out a tiny piece of the adult sheep, put it in a petri dish, and they grew the whole sheep. All right, it's doable. They do it with pets. There's like a whole service for it now. It's a very well understood science. All right, that is actually physically possible. Also, to show you how physically possible it is, Dolly's not the only one. Meet Dolly and Daisy, Debbie, Diana, and Denise. They're all clones. They made more of them. When you first take your intro biology class, you'll learn about Dolly the sheep and what it means for genetic cloning and ethics. Turns out they actually made a shit ton of these. There's a ton of them. They're all, so Dolly passed away in like 2000s due to cancer. They had cancer and passed, and the researchers had this bright idea to keep the original cells that was used to clone Dolly. So in 2016, they made more of them. So a bunch more Dollys were made in 2016 for a study that was going to be published in 2017. So they made a bunch more of them. And yeah, you can just keep doing that. In fact, if you're curious, most cancer research right now is being done on a woman who like died 40 years ago. They have this specific cancer gene line that has been extracted from someone and cloned indefinitely in a research lab for the past like 100 years. And it's used as a baseline to see if like cancer therapies work on it. Yeah, it's kind of like, when are we industrializing the process? It's kind of already industrialized. Like, I mean, maybe not at human scales, but like cloning is real. Like, yeah, we can do it. Yeah. Can't some animals naturally give birth to their young, or like 99% like them? That's true. There's some animals that do like kind of pseudo cloning on their own. This is true cloning though. This is like they are exactly the same. There's 100% DNA match. There's nothing like in between here. How long do they take to grow? Daisy, Debbie, Diana, and Denise took a year. Sometimes they get put into they have to get put in a special incubator to grow, or they get inserted into a surrogate mom. Okay, so humans haven't really figured out how to make a perfect womb yet, but we're getting there. You know those like chemical vats where you like grow clones? Like we're getting there. It's getting close. We're not quite yet there, but we're getting close. That said, if you don't need the full human, like the full animal, and you want it faster, if you want it even faster, meat growing exists. Okay, if we're talking about how to make human bodies, we can grow meat. Lab grown meat is real and exists right now today. You can go have lab grown chicken or lab grown steak. Yeah. And the way they do it is really freaking interesting. They collect cells from an animal, put it into a petri dish, and then have grow that petri dish a little bit more, and then put it into a vat. Mix the vat with a bunch of like growth agents, and like they're providing all sorts of nutrients to it so that the cells just multiply, and then they literally 3D print them into strands so that they look like meat strands. Like in a steak, you know how like if you look at a steak, you know how like all the meat is in like one direction. They'll literally have a 3D printer that like slowly prints out the strands of meat. Yeah, kind of like a little weird, but you know it's pretty interesting to see. Call me beloved. Hello, welcome in. Hi. So yeah, hey, if you ever wonder what was in mystery meat, this is how they do it. They have like these giant chemical vats where they're like stirring all day. Also, it smells horrible. It smells so bad. Oh my god. Oh, it's like gross. I stepped into one for a biology lab. They were showing me like a small research sample, and it smelled atrocious. I don't know if it was because of the specific meat that they were growing, but it smelled horrible. So yeah. So we can make ethical human cannibalism? Is that ethical? Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. You could just take the cell collection from a human and then grow it in a vat. And then, oh my. Okay, we're not gonna, I don't wanna, let's not do that. I don't wanna know what that tastes like, okay? I don't, stop, guys. You wanna know what you taste like? Oh gosh, ooh, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one, guys. This is supposed to be growing for cows and like chicken, okay? We're not trying to grow humans. Like, I guess we are talking about human transmutation. Oh, so technically it's possible to eat someone else's meat. Technically it's possible to eat your own meat. Actually, you can eat your own meat if you want to. Oh boy. Oh, Henrietta, thank you, Satsu. Yeah, it's Henrietta's tumors. That's the woman who had like her tumor cells passed on through every research lab in the world, essentially. God, I wonder if there's like some YouTube videos about it. It's something that you learn in when you're like researching biology stuff. That's a dubious layer that requires a lawyer. Dubious legality. Yeah, it does. That's dubious legality. Okay. Lab growing humans aside, like lab growing the meat, organs are a completely separate matter. But there's actually a lot of promise. We have grown organs, like genuinely full working organs within like a tenth of the time it would take for a human to develop. So you can actually grow organs. And in a not so distant reality, we might be able to grow every organ you need and also 3D print meat. Like, we're getting pretty close to just like building humans, you know? Like, it is possible to just build a human from scratch. Like, it is not fully sci-fi. We're like far off, and there's still a lot to learn, especially like integrating the systems. But like, we can grow individual like livers. We can 3D print meat. Like, the signs are there. All right. Now, that's a lot of progress, okay? So you're thinking, hey, maybe teleportation is cooked, you know? Maybe we can't teleport. Teleportation already exists today, right now! Just like how 3D printing meat and growing organs exist. Teleportation exists, and we have a way to do it, all right? Also, thank you for the art from Lego. This is such a cute art. I love this art. So, and cows, look, your favorite friend, your little cow friends. Teleportation exists, all right? And it's just not as large as you thought it was. All right, it's we can teleport between atoms. You can teleport an electron from one atom to another atom, and you can have it like teleport across the room, and that's pretty cool, you know? It doesn't count if it's only on a quantum scale. It's important that it's on a quantum scale. It's a building block. What do you mean it doesn't count? It counts. It's like a tennis ball or like a human. Any object you have is made up of miniature electrons in quantum states, okay? In order for true teleportation to happen, you have to measure and collect all the original quantum states of your original object and then make it or move it to a new location. All right, that has to happen. And so we're doing the baby building blocks. Okay, we're moving electrons. We're moving like protons and neutrons. Like, that's a big deal. All right. How do you teleport an electron across the room? So how this actually works? That's a good question. How this actually works is electrons have like spin up and spin down states, and they have like other quantum properties that are unknowable until you collapse the wave function and measure it. And so the act of knowing the quantum state of the electron destroys it. All right. So what the researchers do is now we have to talk about uncertainty principle. God. Okay, we did need that slide. All right. I'm gonna skip the cat analogy because I think it's a really bad analogy. All right, everyone buckle up. Everyone sit down. We're doing some quantum mechanics. This will put you ahead of literally every other person who thinks they know quantum mechanics. All right. When you look at a unknown quantum particle, all right, if you have an unknown quantum particle, some people think, underneath, like, here's the cat analogy. Okay, we're bringing back the cat analogy. Fuck, the cat analogy is a good analogy. Fuck you, Schrodinger. Okay. When you have if you have a cat in a box and the question is, is the cat dead or not? You know, like, is this cat passed out? Who knows? You in your human plebeian brain thinks that, underneath this box, the cat has to either be alive or dead. It has to. It's either one or the other. But in reality, it's actually both, okay? It is both at the same time, and it's in a third state. It's in this unknown state that is real, measurable, and has impact on the world around it, all right? A better example is a coin flip, where when you flip a coin or you spin a coin, it ultimately ends up as heads or tails when you quote unquote collapse it, you know? But as the coin is spinning, it is both heads and tails simultaneously at the same time. It's not secretly heads, it's not secretly tails, it's both at the same time, okay? That is what a qubit is, all right? You cannot, it's not hiding information from you. It's technically doing, it's in this third special state. And this is measurable. All right, we can measure this, and it has an impact on the physical world around it. Like a qubit that is still maintaining its quantum properties interacts with the world differently than one that has already collapsed. All right, yes. Unintentional learning is my favorite part of Carbon Stream. So anyone who's like, most people have this intuition that there's like a secret underneath, like a secret physical thing that you can't see, and for some reason when you see it, things like get wonky. That's not the case. So when you understand like this, you can't observe a quantum particle, is because the act of observing it changes it forever. You change it irreparably. You destroy this spinning unknown state. You ruin it. Okay. And the reason why that's important is if I want to teleport a quantum electron from one atom to the other, if I want to go like, I want to take you little guy and I want to go like a little boop over here, me looking at it and measuring it and seeing what it is destroys it. So somehow I have to take the quantum information from here to over to here. And how that's done is usually they associate, for example, like the electron spin to like a photon or a laser, and then they beam a little bit of light from here to the other place, and then it recreates it on this side. Okay, so you transfer the quantum information. So there still needs to be a traverse of information. All right. So no matter what happens when you teleport in between two atoms, there still needs to be like a cable or something that transfers the quantum information over, and then you can recreate it on the other side. And yeah, that's how it works. Okay. And how you recreate it, it can be in a number of ways. It depends on what your thing is. For electrons, you can make electrons in all sorts of fashion. Okay. Here for the science, but the cat makes no sense. It never has to me. You know what? I can do a little bit of a cat explanation. The original cat, Schrodinger's cat thing, is what they're saying is if I have a radioactive particle that has a 50% chance of decaying within the next second, like, oh, I don't know, I have a little bit of uranium or something, and it might decompose within the next second. There's a 50-50 shot. Who knows if it will or not? It's completely random. And I attach that radioactive decay to a bomb or a deadly gas poison inside this box. And inside I also stuff a cat. All right. Now I have this Rube Goldberg machine contraption where I have ultimately a 50-50 coin flip radioactive particle that may or may not decay, and it will cause my cat to die or not. Like, what is a cat, alive or dead? And basically, can you apply like the quantum principle of randomness to a macro larger system? That's like one of the questions of it, and the answer is yes, you can. Like in this case, the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. It's basically the equivalent of biting a psychological bullet, where it's like, oh, can you, like, that doesn't make sense, like that's weird, and the physics answer is but that's how it is, deal with it, fuck you. Yeah. That's why they use a cat example. It's kind of like a lot of build up to it, but that's how you can think about it conceptually. I thought it was just a cat in the box. No. The cat is always jerry-rigged to some death contraption that is some radioactive or quantum coin flip. The cat is both alive and dead is such a boring answer. It wasn't originally. I think it's just been been done a lot in pop media. Okay. We talked a lot about quantum mechanics. All you need to know is that teleportation what that involves is preserving the full information of something and moving it or making it in a new place. And preserving that full information involves a lot of quantum mechanics. Okay, you gotta know all the stuff about it, and that information is really tricky. It's really tricky to move. But we haven't just teleported electrons across a room. We've teleported a photon, actually. China moment, I guess. In 2017, China teleported a photon from Earth to a satellite in orbit, and they proved it. Okay, this is real. This is a mock of the satellite, by the way. So we have actually teleported a photon from Earth to space, and that exists and is real. So the distance of teleportation is quite large. That is crazy. Yeah. What they did is they measured a photon, okay? And when they measured the photon, they preserved all its quantum information and held that in a special quantum state, emitted it through like Wi-Fi. They did a Wi-Fi like signal up to a satellite, and then had the satellite recreate the photon in space after measuring it. You can't, once you measure the photon, it gets destroyed. Okay, and so the original one literally vaporizes, and the new one gets created in space, and it's the exact same as the one on Earth. And they do this multiple times. How can we prove the photon really arrived and was not just there in the first place? There's a no cloning theorem. For quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, you can only ever have one particle that is truly itself. And to know what's inside it destroys it. So you could not replicate a quantum particle. So teleportation is just cloning, kind of. But yeah, we've teleported photons. We've also We've also done, this is a really fun bit that I found out about. Also the Melon Lad, hello, welcome in, hi. Okay, can it just be a coincidence? You can, you can read the 2017 paper. If you look up China's space teleportation, you'll find it really easily. There's a bunch of proof showing how it's not a coincidence. You're right, it could technically just be a coincidence, but this is where like things like statistical methodology of like explaining how these things form and like the stats of that happening matter. That's like what, like technically anytime you do a scientific experiment, you could always say, oh, this is just a coincidence, but that's why we have p-values. You know, if you guys ever curious, like why do people talk about p-values so much? Why does everyone want to under 0.05, you know? It's because the p-value is the chance that all your results are from coincidence. And that is a real concern for scientists. So you have to do a little bit of Bayes' theorem. You have to do a little bit of like probability analysis for any research you do of being like, hey, maybe my research just happened to like randomly roll like this. And that's why if your randomness factor, quote unquote, is too high, your science research is considered invalid. Yeah. I know. Wow, I didn't expect to explain p-values. What if everything is a coincidence? I mean, that's what probability is for. Okay. So, we can teleport a photon from Earth to space.
Pew.
We can also take a photon, its state, its photon, it's like quantum state, and shove it in a hard drive. So you can actually recreate it later. So you can you can take your quantum particle, put it in a hard drive, store it, and then be like, actually, I want to make it again. You wouldn't download a photon? Actually, you can! You can download quantum particles and store them. And not only that, people have used this to make quantum repeaters. There's like, so you can have a photon and then you store it. Okay, why is there a picture of a diamond? Sorry, I lied to you briefly. You actually don't store it in a hard drive. You actually store quantum states in the hollow gas core of a diamond, okay? You hollow out a diamond and you fill it with special gas, and then that's where you store the quantum state. Don't ask me why it's a diamond. Don't ask me why you have to put special gas in it, okay? You just gotta trust me, bro, okay? The diamond's important. It's... How many megabytes do they take up? I don't really have enough storage. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know, you can just save it for later. Yeah, but you can store a quantum state inside a diamond, and then you can make the diamond whenever you like emit some voltage over it, you can make it shoot the photon back out. And this is important because if you ever had like redstone, you know, and you have like redstone repeaters, you know how like your redstone signal gets weaker over time? That happens with quantum states and photons as well. So what you can do is you can reabsorb it into something and then re-emit it, so you get like the strong signal back. And you can also just store it too. You can just store it in here and leave it for a long time, and then pull it out later. So oh my gosh, I just realized that means if you can teleport something, you can put something in stasis. Wait, that's so cool. I didn't even think about it like that. I just realized on stream. If you can teleport, that means you can put, it's the same as like, oh, I can put something in like a permanent stasis and then pull it out later. Oh, it's an ender pearl stasis chamber. Oh my god, you're so right. Yes. Carbon, write it down. I know. True. What is this? Ooh, I'm reading Satsu. Give me a second. Release on demand. So it seems like they are stored and released rather than some kind of data that can be replicated. Oh. Another thing. If any of you can replicate a quantum state, as in if you can take one photon and make it two of the same photon, that is, you've solved a $1 trillion problem. Okay, why? How much do they cost? That's a good question. How much does this cost? And why is there so much research about quantum teleportation and like all this little weird bits, okay? Why do we care so much? This shit costs a crap ton of money. I mean, someone launched a satellite into space to literally prove that you could teleport to space, okay? Why did they do that? It's because quantum computers, all right? The day you are able to reliably quantum teleport and replicate quantum particles, you have cracked every password in the world, okay? You've made quantum computers scalable. It will ruin modern computing architecture, all right? That is why. Yeah, the quantum computers, there's a ton of very big tech companies researching how to make this happen as soon as possible. So they're doing a lot of experiments to see if they can teleport like full hydrogen atoms, okay? We've teleported protons, we've teleported neutrons, we've teleported electrons. What we haven't done is teleported the whole thing shebang together to make a hydrogen atom, okay? And if you can teleport hydrogen atoms, then you can teleport like larger atoms, you know? Like that's their goal. They're trying to get there. It's quite far off. Also, I attach some pictures of quantum computers because I think they're cool. The actual quantum computer is like the tiny bit right here, and this is just all the cooling system. Isn't that funny? This whole thing is cooling, and this is just the computer. Yeah, and there's only like 3 qubits on here. Teleporting an atom would be massive. Yeah, we haven't done it yet, but we're working on it. So, yes, that is teleportation. But some of you have already asked, wait a minute. Isn't teleportation just human transmutation with extra steps? And to that, I'd say you are correct. They are very similar. These two are very like closely related, which is why I compare them, because I thought it'd be fun. Like making clones and teleporting miniature like objects is close. And so if you're thinking, oh, are we going to have human clones and transmutation? Or are we going to have teleportation? Which of these things will be like closer? Like what's going to be the real physical reality in like sci-fi future? All right. The closest thing that we'll actually have is actually this. We're going to have cloned human vats of yourself. And then whenever you want, you upload your brain onto one of them. That's how it's probably going to work. They're kind of two sides of the same coin. Yeah, sorry, boring answer. I don't think so. I think it's pretty interesting. So what will likely happen if you want to teleport from one place to another? What would happen is you would have a vat where you grew yourself a human, your human body. Okay, it'd be growing somewhere, and then you would sit down into a machine. It would scan your brain, wipe your brain, upload your consciousness through a data cable, and then download it onto another place somewhere else. And that's how you would quote unquote teleport. So your consciousness would teleport, but your physical body would be harder to teleport. That is the closest thing we have to teleportation. That's probably what we're looking like. So in other words, the world of Cyberpunk 2077 isn't that far off. Yeah. Yes, it's close. It's like body swapping. Yeah. That's because teleporting all that matter is really difficult. Something that's not so hard to teleport is like electrons. And ideally, if you can map the whole brain into some quantum state, you can fry the original brain, just grow a new brain, and then have like that new fresh print and just keep pasting it. So you could get around like that. Yeah. That's scary. Do you think so? Is this scary, guys? I think it's cool. I'm amused. So the closest thing we have to teleportation is like just making clones, and we're actually not that far from making clones. At what point does this become the ship of Theseus? I don't know. I don't. Honestly, as long as my consciousness moves around, I am me. That is who I am. I'm me. I like the idea of living in perpetuity. True. If you could transfer your human consciousness, you could just grow a younger version of yourself. Oh, I guess immortality is on the way here. I guess if you can teleport and use human vats like this, you've also solved aging. Damn, there's a lot of crazy things you'd solve. So you could upload your mind into any body, not even your own. That is unknown. We actually don't know that. If you could, we don't know if you could upload your mind to any body. The thing is, like, neurons and forming different neural connections is a thing. That's pretty real. So if you scan someone's brain and another person's brain, those brains are fundamentally different. Like, there will be stronger connections in different places. They'll have more gray matter in certain areas and less in others. Certain like neural understandings of things will be different. Just like how you can literally get an MRI scan of someone with ADHD and a person without ADHD, and they'll physically be different. Like, the brains will physically be different. You can scan and see depression on a brain scan. Like, you can literally see it with like its waves and everything. So people who are like, oh, you know, like depression stuff doesn't exist, like you can map it and look at it. It's not just a mental thing, it's a physical thing too. And so who knows what would happen if you uploaded someone's consciousness on a different brain? I genuinely don't know. I don't know if any of us have an answer to that until we do it. Carmen, you're basically saying we'll be making empty husks of ourselves. I mean, we're growing organs, you know, like, I'm all for growing organs, by the way. I love organ growth. I love the idea that we can like replace our body parts. BRB, I'm gonna scan my consciousness and see if I can make it run too. You probably could. You probably could. Scientifically, it's awesome. But thinking about the implications of what people would do with it, aka immortal soldiers. Oh God, a brain altering the brain before uploading it? Oh, I don't know. We already do replace our organs. #skin. You're right. We do replace our skin. And technically, it's like self-replicating too. True. What if some billionaire decides to steal all the clones? I think the only person who can have a vat of clones are billionaires. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this shit is expensive. All right. Okay. Do we want to do one more? Let's take a sip break. I'm gonna sip on some coffee. I have one more. I have my last one. I'll show you the comparison. If you guys reckon, oh, I did this little bit in Otakon. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do the bit. Does one in chat if you recognize this headset? Do you recognize it? Do you know what this is? One of you know what it is. Put a one in chat. I'm looking, I'm waiting, I'm staring. Yeah. Look at all of you. You guys know what this is? Oh, two. Some of you don't know what it is. All right. This is the Sword Art Online Nerf gear. If you recognize this, you're old. This anime came out like 12 years ago. Okay, I don't even know. It's super old. Yeah. If this was your gateway anime, you're unk. I know. Sorry, that was a joke that I did at Otakon. I did that to the whole room and they all booed me. I had 400 people boo me at the beginning of my panel. I did this joke and I got booed by 400 people right away. Hell yeah. We start off strong. Oh, I did have one question. So how do you know photons and electrons are different when they are composed of the same thing every time? It's not like there are other elements combined. What is the difference between a certain electron, one electron and another electron? How can you tell the difference? That is a good question. I know my electron is special, or is the original electron, because it has certain quantum properties that when I measure tell me what it is. So some of the quantum properties are like spin, you know, each electron has its own special spin. That's just one part of it. There's more aspects of the electron that are unknowable unless you destroy the electron. Chemically they function the same, but there are like special quantum states inside it. So there's a real like difference. So there's like an individual identification number, but the individual identification number, the quantum state of the electron, is inside it. So you have to destroy it in order to read it. It's like having a special like serial number stuffed inside a teddy bear, and the only way to look at it is to rip open the teddy bear. So you can know that teleportation functioned if you took the teddy bear, destroyed it, and then recreated another place, and you ripped it open. You ripped it open, the new teleported teddy bear, and inside you saw the same serial number. That's essentially what they're doing. Poor teddy. I'm sorry, I'm using a teddy bear example. Okay. Sorry about the Sword Art Online headset joke, but I had to do it. But this is the comparison I wanted to do. I wanted to compare which of these is closer. Are we going to get Nerve Gear, or are we going to get Geass control? And let me tell you, we're not that far away from both of these. There's like real life implications for both of them. Lelouch, I love Lelouch. I'm sorry, I'm a Code Geass fan. First the cat, now the teddy bear. Oh boy, it's gonna get worse actually. What do you mean we're close to Geass control? Well, we're actually very close to Geass control. But let me first explain. Nerve Gear is not actually what people think it is. It's not VR and AR, okay? It's not augmented reality. It's not just a headset. We have VR headsets right now today, and they're pretty good. They're quite immersive, like you can see all the visual things. In fact, there's new tech being worked on right now that instead of just wearing a headset, you have lasers that blast into your eyeballs directly. So it covers your whole vision, and that's all you see, you know, and you don't see, like, you don't have to wear a HUD or anything. It's just like it's blasting lasers in your eye. The difference is, with Nerve Gear, the thing that you see in Sword Art Online, like the full dive technology, if you've never seen that anime, you should watch it. It's a rite of passage. It's much closer to a brain chip. It's reading and writing into your brain. It's like understanding what you're seeing and creating new experiences. Like you're feeling things. It's like almost as if you're there. All right. It's not like wearing a controller and headset. You're actually there. Right. So it's a thing. And we have brain chips. Brain chips exist. All right. There's a brief group of people. There's a small group of people that I must address. Some people think that with VR, you can get close to experiencing things. Like there are people who are like, oh, I have like phantom touch, you know, like I'm in VR and I like someone touches me in VR and I feel that sensation. And while that is true, those feelings are real, it's not a induced sense of feeling that is as strong as something like a brain chip could be, you know? Hypnosis and stuff like that is like it is like a real thing where wait 1 second. Oh, I remember the transition. Okay, I remember the transition. I had to read my thing. Okay, I remember. Sorry. Scratch that. Okay. So brain chips do exist. You can like read and write into a brain, possibly, theoretically. I can talk about the brain chips in a bit. Wait, let me see. Let me peek a little. I'm peeking a little. Okay. I know that I needed to make sure that I was going the right direction. I'm sorry, I'm not so prepared. Okay, so brain chips are real. What about Geass? You know, can I like control people with mind control? Like, can I hypnotize them into doing something? Yeah, this is the Otakon panel. Yeah. Can I mind control someone with like Geass into making them do something? And the thing is, hypnosis exists. But hypnosis only exists up to the point that the original person is okay with. It's basically really powerful placebo. The person believes that you telling them to do something compels them to do it, and that's why they do it, but it can't go against their original core value systems. Whereas Geass is complete control, right? Like, so, okay, if hypnosis exists and it can't, like, you can't hypnotize someone and tell them to kill another person. Like, that's, most of the time, it's not going to function in their brain. They're not going to be able to do it. But there's something more powerful than hypnosis. We are actually pretty close to Geass. Oh, ye of little faith. Science has come a long way, all right? Instead of doing hypnosis, which is very like, it's studied but doesn't have the same levels of research as this other field, okay? We have full control. We can control limbs and consciousness of things. Let me introduce you to the field of optogenetics. You can remote control animals. You could actually infect an animal with a special virus and plug in a little controller and move their limbs against their will. All right? Let me show you. This is a real research paper of a rat brain. This rat has a special virus that was injected into its brain and into its specifically brain controlling its motor neurons, and then it made its legs move against its will with a little electrode attached to its head. So yeah, it is a real thing that happens. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to be mind controlled, like someone could actually mind control you. And the craziest part is this is done with a virus. So yeah, it's actually rabies virus. For those of you who wanted to know, there's a fancy rabies virus where, well, so rabies is special in mammals. It propagates through our brain and our neurons, which is very rare for a virus. Most viruses don't go through our brain. But the reason why like rabies goes through the brain is like during the final stages of the rabies virus, like humans become deathly afraid of water. Like they become like super scared, like their neurons are changing and they can't even drink water. They get really scared of it. So it's pretty crazy. But you can take away the part that kills people, and instead now you have this highly effective virus that propagates deep into the brain. And if you genetically modify it even more, you can make it so that modified virus turns on those neurons when exposed to light. So what is happening with the rat here is this is actually an optical cable. It's a light that's blasting light into the brain, and then it's triggering the parts of the brain that the researchers wanted. So you give it a virus and you attach a little bit of light to it, and then it goes. And so with that, you can actually control animals. You can control things. So like, and it's not, okay. The difference though with Gios is, the animal is conscious throughout this. They actually have memory of this entire thing. It's not like in Gios where your mind is conveniently wiped. It's like you remember you remember doing all the things. That's so much worse. You can't turn it off. I'm sorry. It's just like, hey, the rats seem happy. All right. Can we stop researching this? It's important research. This teaches us about how motor neurons function, you know? And the rats are fine. Okay. They seem happy. I mean, they don't get anxious doing it. Like some rats, they have like anxiety hormones and stuff like that. The research that was doing this, like they don't freak out. I think they just accept their fate after a while. Yeah. Well, they're rats. I mean, let's not worry about that too much. All right. Yeah. So let's connect the virus to the bit of brain that makes them feel happy, so we can force them to feel happy. Oh, Nana. Oh, how do I tell you this? So rats, there's a special tool for rats to make them happy, okay? And they cut open the rat's brain and give a tube that gets put into the brain that's just straight cocaine. And that's how they do addiction studies and mood studies on rats. They open up their brain and like put drugs directly into it, and and they do studies on like how the rats are doing. Also, they sometimes like they they spike the water with drugs. This is a very common way to do like mood studies and also anxiety studies on mammals. Yeah, so if you're like, hey, let's make the rats happy, almost every single time you think about making rats happy, those are the most unethical studies, okay? In my opinion, I think those are the craziest ones. I think controlling the rat with its body against its will is not that bad compared to like giving it happiness for a week and then ripping it away to see what it does to its mental state. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know. Carbon, you're live on my university? What? Science period? Oh no. I don't know if you should show people this. I feel like this is like a graduate level study that is currently being researched and developed right now, and is also, the ethics are a little ambiguous. Anyway, speaking about ambiguous ethics, let me introduce you to brain reading headsets. These are brain-computer interfaces, actually, is what they're called. It's another whole field of research. So first we talked about, hey, mind-controlling viruses for GIOS. Now we're back to nerve gear. What about those helmets? Let's say I don't want to put a brain chip in my head. I want to experience Sword Art Online without putting an implant in. I'm actually here to tell you that is possible. That's physically possible, okay? There are multiple different types of ways to interact with the brain. Why is this in Chinese? I'm sorry, it was just a good image. I'll explain it to you, all right? There's different types. So Neuralink, the one that you see from Mr. Musk, is most like high functioning brain computer interfaces. They have an implant that attaches electrodes deep inside the brain, and each neuron has a metal wire going, not each neuron, but multiple regions of the brain have metal wires going through them. So they will literally cover your brain with wires. This is not something that's really done with humans. It's done a lot with ape studies right now, and there's a lot of crazy research around it. I can tell you about the implications later, but yeah, they've been doing this. There's another one that is done in humans, which is you attach, you have your implant, and you attach a little like fancy sensor inside. So instead of attaching every region of the brain to a wire, you just have a really high resolution sensor that's embedded on top of the brain. Okay, this is considered minimally invasive. It's not, you're still drilling a hole in the skull, but it's considered minimally invasive. All right, and the main trade-off is this one where you're putting in a sensor is much less, is much harder to interpret and read and do things with compared to one where there's wires in every part of your brain, right? That makes sense. If you're trying to that's why wireless charging is way less efficient than direct wire charging, So whenever you're transmitting energy or trying to read signals over a wavelength or over space, wirelessly, you're gonna lose some signal. You're gonna get some noise mixed in there. And so this is less effective, but it's done right now. If you ever have cochlear implants or you have vision problems, they might install a quote unquote minimally invasive little brain thing into your head, and it will help you get your vision back or your hearing back, and it messes with your neurons to do it. So it's kind of doable. That said, if you don't want any stuff happening in your head, you don't want anything in there, you don't want, hey, I don't want any wires in my brain, I don't want you to drill a hole, you can actually wear a helmet like this, and it can read your brain sensors, and it can stimulate your neurons too. So by running a bunch of really powerful magnetic fields around your brain, you can cause your neurons to fire deep inside. And that will actually make you see things or hear things and whatnot. And so in order to induce an outside thing into your brain, make you see visions, you can do that with a headset. You can do that with any of these. It's just the headset is the hardest one. And the reason why it's so hard to do is because the brain is really, the signal to noise ratio is really bad. Is this the future of VR? I don't know. It would be cool. The biggest problem is no one wants to drill a hole in their head to play VR games, right? Like that's pretty bad. So if you want to have really immersive VR, you'd have to do something like a headset like this. The problem is you have a bunch of these sensors that are really far away from the specific regions of the brain that you care about. So what you end up getting is, here, I'll show you. This is a real life sensor for the brain that you put on, like one of the helmets, okay? This is also a real life graph of what the brain waves look like, okay? It is very messy. To interpret this data is super hard. Almost no one can do it. And the best we have now is we attach these to machine learning systems and then we say, hey, Mr. AI, right now I'm feeling happy. Here's the data dump of me feeling happy. Remember that, and if you see something like that again, then do that. And that's the best we've gotten, okay? No one, like, understanding individual brainwaves and what, like, how neurons firing, what that means for each thing, that's like, we're far from that. We're really far from that. And then also, inducing the reverse is really hard. So theoretically, you could also have a bunch of magnets here that move around and make the same electrical charge and wave pattern inside your brain to recreate the feeling, right? So you could, like, maybe someone, I don't know, experiences a lot of joy in a moment, and you record that brainwave pattern. You could go to another person or that same person and then replay it back later, and then they should experience and feel the same things. In theory, it's just doing that accurately is very hard to do because you have to stimulate electrons in a very deep region of the brain with a bunch of sensors that are really far away. Carbon, won't long exposure to magnetic fields harm the body and brain? Yeah, not magnetic. What you're thinking about is heat. So if you have a really strong, we don't react to magnetic fields. We're not like magnetic, but if you have a really powerful magnetic field that's moving around you, you could technically cause you could cause your brain to melt. It's just like how microwaves, they're technically emitting electromagnetic fields and they're shaking the water molecules in your microwave to heat up your food. If you are wearing a headset like this and it's shaking your brain a little too much, you could boil your brain. And that's why in the olden days, they have these gigantic phone antenna. The gigantic phone antenna of the old days was not actually, partially it was to get better signal, but secondly, it was also to keep the transmitter and receiver away from your head, because if it was too close to your head, your brain could absorb the radio waves and heat up and boil you alive. Thankfully, 4G and 5G are wavelengths that are too long to do that, and they're not strong enough. But like, hey, it's you might boil your brain. If you have a headset, you might boil your brain. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So that said, that takes us back to the original question. The original question was, hey, are we closer to Gios? Are we closer to to brain scorching nerve gear headsets? Which is ironic, right? Generally, I imagine the boil the brain level of power is probably programmatically controlled for, but not sure if it's hardware limited. What you can do, and this is the theory that people have been working with for headsets, is they'll use really powerful magnetic fields, but bank on constructive and deconstructive interference to limit the brain's exposure to high power. So you're trying to make a high-powered pinpoint deep inside the brain, and you're hoping that everywhere else, all the waves deconstructively interfere so that it doesn't feel anything. That's like the goal, but whether or not that actually happens is like, ooh, who knows? Cool, but scary, because I'm thinking about them in the hands of billionaires. To fry brains? I don't know. I think I don't know. I hope that I can get cool anime games from this, but I also don't want my brain to melt. Would this be expensive to pull off? To do? Actually, unknown. So this is a good question.
when you have new science and research, and the question is this expensive to research and do? The answer can sometimes be a lot less than you think, right? Sometimes it's just we are a few good ideas away from a major scientific breakthrough. And personally, for brain-computer interfaces and headsets like this, I genuinely think we are a few good ideas away from fully implementing this, because we have the headsets, you know, we have like the headsets, we have the ability to stimulate the electricity and neurons inside the brain. What we lack is the processing power and the accuracy. We don't know what the brain is doing. We lack an understanding. So it's not hardware limited, it's like understanding limited. We don't know how the brain works enough to do it. Physically we could though. So that's where we're at with like this nerve gear type helmet. We could build the physical hardware, but to actually know if we're hitting the right spots of the brain, unknown. Yeah. That said, for Gios, if I just want you to shoot yourself, or if I just want you to like walk over here, I actually have a very good mapping of human motor neurons. So if I, you know, infect you with a little virus and attach a little electrode to your head, I could control you against your will, right now, today. So between Gios and understanding brainwaves, I think we're actually closer to Gios. Like, it is kind of crazy, but I think we're closer to Gios. I don't think I can force you to like do complicated tasks, but if it's just like move, it's not really Gios. It's more like this is why I attached the image. It's more like Dr. Blythe from Neferpitu's net ability. It's like you have a bunch of strings in your hands and I'm like moving you, essentially. That's like the more realistic example. Yeah. I mean, if you drag someone to surgery for 12 hours and implant a chip in their head, you can Gios them for sure, I guess. That is true, because you still need to get the light in their head to fire their neurons. But this is something that is studied less because the implications are horrifying. The whole thing I was talking about with optogenetics, what they're doing is they're implanting a specialty brain virus that targets specific neurons in the brain, and then make it so that you can turn those on with a on-off switch later on with light. You actually can change the on-off switch instead and give them literally a virus that makes their brain function differently. So you could craft in a dystopian sci-fi world, I could craft a virus that alters your brain chemistry and just permanently does it, and I can't turn it off. And the reason why we don't do that is because if it spreads, it would be really freaking bad. But like, I could remove the control switch, which is the laser source. I'm just saying we could do it. It would just be a little... The Gios would be, instead of me telling someone and being voice activated, it would be like a literal virus spreading. It gives a new definition to I'm in your head. Oh boy. So out of these two, I think we're actually closer to Gios. I would like to see Sword Art Online nerve gear, but yeah, that's a little bit of research between the two. So this is how we make zombies. Yay! It might be a little rabies virus. So yeah, there's some dystopian science for you guys. I hope you enjoy the dystopian science of me talking about brain chips and Gios. There's like a few honorable mentions that I added at the end that I didn't talk about. I think I deleted some of them, but like, I was gonna do like, there's another one that I did for Otakon. I did like a cat girl special one versus cyberpunk implants. And then I also did like Pokédexes versus power scaling. And then I did, these are like some fun previews that I've done before. I also done like plasma blades and railguns. I think this one is like me talking about Ditto, you know, talking about like, can you make a Ditto clones, or can you like, this is a cloning version. This is similar to the cloning talk that we had. I love Ditto. I love Ditto too. The students watching you are traumatized. It's not. Okay. Here's something to make you happy. That's not as traumatizing. All right. it it's it was not a good decision to choose a stream to help me fall asleep. I'm definitely gonna have nightmares. It's here's a motivating message I left at the end of my slide deck. Okay, I wanted to say that anime magic systems and like all of this anime like sci-fi stuff is a lot like science, and I wanted to be like, whoa, it's really cool that within these like fantastical worlds, right, and these like alternate realities that play by their own rules, we have like a real world base, you know, that can be done. Nekoama? Hello, hi. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome in, Raiders. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. Oh, you just watched me finish up my my little science talk. I was talking about Am I bad for this? Should I not tell people that we're really close to Gios? I feel like that's not like a good intro to be like, hey guys, welcome in, Raiders. By the way, how do you feel about mind control? Here's all the research we have about mind controlling people right now. No, it's fine. The knowledge is out there. I know, right? Like, this is publicly available information. Yay, we're way closer to my worst nightmares becoming reality than I thought. I mean, it's scientific progress. It's also not that bad, okay? There are advantages too, okay? Like, on the way to making Sword Art Online VR headsets, we're also going to be able to cure limbs, okay? Now you can have like, hey, if you're quadriplegic and you can't move your legs, and we know where your motor neurons are, we have a brain chip in your brain, we can replace your legs with, like, we can rewire the neurons to your legs so that you can use them again. Like, I'm just saying, like, on the way to world domination and frying your brains with headsets, like, we're gonna do some cool stuff too that help people, you know? Like, it's not all bad, all right? I want to mind control somebody? Okay. Whoa there. Hold your horses. You watch too much anime. Mm-hmm. What about muscle atrophy? I mean, you can train your muscles. Steroid injections exist, you know, like you can also like give them a small induction of steroids and then like try to help them there. Like this is actually a real thing where like people have their neurons severed or their nerves severed to their limbs and they have to get reconnected. And then they have a little bit of muscle atrophy. They get injected with steroids in that like local area and they like do physical therapy in order to relearn how to use that limb. And it works. Like it's been done hundreds of times. Mm-hmm. What was I saying? Oh, I was welcoming myself in, yeah. But yeah, boy, back from taking a few days of rest. Huh? You were engaged last week? Congratulations. What the heck? Wow. 1 second. Oh man, I stuttered and inhaled a bunch of mucus in my brain when reading that. I was like shocked. Why does everyone is this what it feels like to get old? I'm having my VTuber friends come in and tell me, hey, I just got engaged, Carbon. Oh, I got married. Oh, I have a baby now. Literally this stream, I had someone come and tell me that they had a baby. Another streamer friend of mine got married over the weekend, and now you're engaged too? Like, oh my god. Like, what? Are you guys my mother? Like, damn. It's crazy. Like, can I not be a silly anime astronaut? Like, can I not be married to the career? Oh man. Not gonna lie, I couldn't have done it without both hosting an event and publishing a book. Oh my gosh. Wow, good job. It seems like you have a busy time. Once you turn 30, you're cooked, brother. Guys, don't remind. In Korea, they literally have clubs that kick you out when you're 30. I was just like, holy, what are you guys? That's insane. Like, they ID check you. They ID check you at the door. And they're like, hey, are you Unk? Are you dead? And then it's just like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I'm insane. And no rest for the cat boys. I think we're actually pretty far from bioengineering cat ears onto someone. And you know, tails is a whole nother thing. They're actually humans who have tails. Like, that's a real mutation that naturally occurs. And it doesn't look cute, okay? I'm telling you, I wish tails on humans looked good, but they look more like rat tails than like cute furry cat tails, okay? I'm telling you, it does not look good. There's a reason why a lot of doctors just chop them off if it ever happens on a baby. All right, human tails are really gross. All right, I don't like it. Yeah, we have no hair. I know. Unfortunately, humans aren't furry. Maybe we could have a furry gene that would only express locally in one area. We just haven't found it yet. Wouldn't it be quite easy to put non-working cat ears on someone? I don't think we know what would happen to their original ears. Like, I think you could rob someone of hearing and do that, possibly. I mean, also, you know, like, cosplay exists. Guys, we don't have to genetically edit humans to have cat ears and tails. We can just, like, wear cat ears. Like, we don't have to do this. Please, it doesn't have to be permanent. This is a choice that you were making that I disagree with. Carbon, have you told your friends that they can clone their baby and after a few months and they are suffering from late nights? What? Are you telling me I'm not gonna tell people to off their baby or make baby vats. Hello? No. Oh, but controlling rats are okay? Okay. They're rats, okay? I'm just saying there's human rights and then there's animal rights, all right? Rats, I love them. I love them a lot. I don't think we should be mean to them, but like I think it's fine to mind control rats. Like they're great to be mind controlled, all right? Oh, Skedaddle, take care. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you. Where do the cat boys fall in that? Okay, you know what? Since we got raided by a cat, we can talk a little bit about cat boys. All right. I was gonna talk about like how close we are between these two, but I wanted to say I wrote a very in-depth research paper, and I talked about this on stream a while back. About this is just for fun. We have a silly in the science group that I had in grad school. We had this thing where every month we'd get together and write ridiculous research papers that were really well researched. And one of the premises that I did was, how far are we from cat girl technology? You know, like, when are we going to get the anime cat girls? And the consensus basically is
I'm new here.
There are 3 paths for anime cat girls, all right? One of them is to genetically modify human beings. And unfortunately, we are really far from genetically modifying human beings into cat girls, mainly because genetically modifying human beings is fucking banned in every country. It's super unethical and illegal. The last guy who did it in China got hunted down and sent to prison. All right, it's like very not good. You're not supposed to do it. And so it would take a lot of trial and error to know what genes do what for the cat ears. We have a general theory and we have like some like understanding of them, but to actually implement them, who knows? We've grown animal parts in other animals before, but the way they interact with the human body, because that's way more complex, unknown. You know, like we don't know how that'll work. And we also don't know if we do that, there's a high chance we give cat girls super cancer. Like, you're messing with the human genome, right? We don't know if we accidentally modify something and now they have like super cancer or like horrible disease, you know, like their organs might all suddenly fail when they turn 20. Like, we don't know. All right, so there's like a crazy high death risk there. That said, there's two other options for bringing your cat girl fantasies to real life, and one of them I think is playing pretend. All right, and using VR, or like not VR but like brain chips. So this is something I want to talk about with the brain chip tech. So Neuralink and other brain chip companies have proved that if you haven't, let me describe the experiment. You have an ape, okay? You show it a black screen, and then you flash a light on the screen. And the ape touches the flashing light, and they get a reward for touching that flashing light, all right? So every time they see that flashing light and they touch it with their finger, they get a reward. They get a little candy thing or whatever. You can record that brainwave of them seeing the light and then play it on another ape, and they will see that light on a completely black screen that's showing no light in the same position. So if you record, that means if you record an experience with one brain, you can replay it on another brain. And do you understand the implications? So the implication is saying for apes and monkeys, probably with humans, you can record the brain's experience and replay it later. And the person will experience the same thing, right? Like, that is insane, right? So hear me out. You get someone and you give them a shit ton of drugs, and you give them a pseudo cat girl experience. You get a really good cat girl cosplayer and you make them think that it's a cat girl, and you record the brainwaves, and then you can replay it later. It's brain dances in cyberpunk. You're right. We can do cat girl brain dances. Like it's doable. It's like you could literally brain dance. Yeah. I see no way in which this could go horribly awry. I might fry your neurons, you know. It's true your brain might be fried. It's also true that you might get stuck. There's like, once you're in the experience and it's being replayed in your brain, I don't know if there's a way to stop it. Yeah, there's a cooting in 5K. So I think we're actually a lot closer to that. I think we're close. Instead of bioengineering a human, I think we are closer to like doing brain dances that are pretty close. Which is also, I think it'd be like, would you ever go skydiving like that? Like if someone recorded their skydiving experience, or like them, I don't know, flying a really cool plane or going on a roller coaster, and then you had the option to replay it in your brain, would you do it? I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like that'd be really weird. Oh my god, it'd be so weird to see someone else's body from my perspective too, right? Oh my god, the brain dance addiction would go crazy, because you could live your life as other people. I could experience what it's like to have a period. That would be awful. Oh no. Someone did some experiment with additional limbs hooked onto the neurons, and they were able to learn how to control them. Yeah, that's true. You can do that. That is something that people have done. So I think like controlling cat girl tails could be possible, you know? Yeah, would that be like an identity complex? I think you'd ruin your brain. So you're saying I could be an actual cat girl, but I would get turbo cancer, or I can LARP being a cat girl with drugs. When you put it like that, okay, when you put it like, oh, you can be a cat girl, but you might get turbo cancer, or you can LARP being a cat girl, but you have to be drugged up and you'd have a horrible identity crisis with brain dances. Yeah, I don't know. I think the options aren't looking good for cat girls. Yeah. Wait, can I have Dr. Octopus arms? You can have Dr. Octopus arms. Actually, it's something that if you... Ooh, is this class? No, it's not. Okay. If you are a fighter pilot, you are actually trained to have octopus arms. They train you to operate and use like multiple like other planes while you fly in order to like deal with more modern flight threats. Oh, you know what's a good example? When you play like a video game, right? And you're like clicking and moving and controlling different characters on the screen, you know, and you're like, you have like 5 different characters and you're controlling all of them at once. You're pressing 5 different buttons. That's kind of the same. Like you can think of them as like digital limbs. So you could totally have like a fleet of drones that you control. That said, the human brain like kind of caps out at like 5 to 7 working objects at once. Like more than that, your brain starts to not be able to handle it. Carbon, what you're describing is the thing they use in Total Recall? Oh, I have not watched Total Recall. I kind of want what is maybe I should watch Total Recall. But I'm just reading chat right now. Fun news, I'm almost done with college. Unfortunately, my last semester requires me learning quantum mechanics. Okay, quantum mechanics is not that hard. Wait. Is it ableist for me to say quantum mechanics, the class is not that hard? The field is difficult, but like if you want to pass a class, it's actually very like not terrible. The math is very easy, and the concepts you just have to accept at face value, right? Like you don't understand quantum mechanics, Mr. Streer? You'll learn Bra and Ket notation, which is like how to like do quantum state manipulation, and then the hardest thing you have to do is you have to understand imaginary numbers a little bit so you can do Euler's like formula and do the Schrodinger's equation, and you're good. Like it's like electrodynamics is much harder in my opinion because you have to deal with like vector calculus, but in quantum mechanics you don't have any of that. It's just like a bunch of states. It's just different types of notation. I guess you have linear algebra. I don't know. Honestly, no, I wouldn't say it's ableist or however the fuck you spell it. I'm just saying if Feynman didn't understand quantum mechanics, none of us do. I think there's a difference between being able to pass a class and understanding it. Like understanding something implies that you know why everything happens and you like get it from its bare base principles. But I don't think that's the case for quantum mechanics because our brains aren't meant to understand it. Like we live in a macro world, you know, like everything we touch and do is physical that we can see. And so when we learn like these weird rules for these tiniest particles and atoms, it's hard for us to understand because we never see it in our day-to-day lives. And I think that's okay. It's fine to like know it conceptually but not quite fully understand it or be able to have good analogies for it. Yeah, I just accept it as is and then move on. Otherwise my brain would melt. What is this crazy chat message? Me in 2077 using my Flipper Zero to access the brain chip of the guy who cut me off on the road to give him gender dysphoria. That's awful, but also not a future that is impossible. It is an actual, I guess, possibility. Please don't do that to people. Guys, chat, can we not cast gender dysphoria on people with brain chips? Let's not do that. Oh man. Okay, let me pull you up again. Holy. There you go. Hi, chat. Hello. I cast brain dance. I actually think the fact that we're like kind of close to brain dances is really cool. I think we can actually, okay, hot take. We could do brain dances right now if we weren't cowards, but we're scared about the implications on humans. But so I'm just saying there's like ethics boards that need to be reviewed and we have to do more animal testing. But theoretically, theoretically, we could just start recording experiences and replaying it on other brains and seeing what happens. Like it's doable. Wizards are gonna be real in a monkey paw kind of way. They're gonna zap just for it straight to your brain. Oh no! I don't want. Oh man, that's the thing. That's the scary thing about brain chips, is if you have a brain chip, anyone could mess with it. You know, like sure you could try to like install security, you know, and like try to make it so that you can't wirelessly access it, but everything's hackable, you know, like you can hack something eventually and with enough effort. And I feel like the amount of effort people would put into trying to hack a brain chip would be very crazy. You need brain insurance? Oh, I don't know if that exists. Oh no. I will access Carmen's brain chip to make him stream and say horrible things to cancel him. No, I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be like one of those old boomers when I get older, and all the hip kids are gonna be like, hey dad, I want to get a brain chip installed. All the other kids have their brain chips installed while they're in 8th grade. Like, can I get my brain chip installed? And I'm gonna be like, no, you don't understand. The government's trying to control you. Like that shit's bad for you. And they're like, no, please, everyone else is using it. It's just gonna be like our parents with our phones. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to get connected to the Skynet. Okay. Back in my day, we thought with our own brains. Realistically, if there was brain insurance, who would have the highest deductible? I don't know. Yeah. I do wonder, in like 20-30 years time, I would love to be a dad one day and like show my kiddos all the cool things the world has to offer, you know? But I wonder how the world will be different then. Like, are we gonna have like weird flying robots and stuff like that? Are we gonna have like cat girls walking around? Like, I don't know. 20-30 years? I don't know when. Hello? Am I gonna be immortal by then? I hope so. Lots of things of considering us on top of parenting. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it feels selfish to be like, oh, you want to bring a life into this world that's like very chaotic, and like there's lots of problems, but in my opinion the world always has problems, you know, like there's always going to be problems. It'll never be perfect, so you might as well just do what makes you happy. It's a little selfish, but you know what, suck it, kid. I'll do my best, you know. Okay. Whew. I got a little tired out. I got a little pampered out. I yapped too much about nerdy science stuff. And tomorrow I have to talk about rockets. I'm actually really excited to talk about the Chinese rockets and robot Olympics. So tomorrow I'm gonna pull up a bunch of my favorite clips from the Robot Olympics that they're hosting in Beijing right now. They're like doing track and meet or events where the robots are running and they hit a wall and they blow up. It's spectacularly. It's pretty amazing. And then we can do some rockets things that I haven't had a chance to cover. This one was just like an Otakon little like science yaps where we do like a bunch of future tech. I think one thing that I think people don't realize is that the average person doesn't understand how like crazy sci-fi we can really get. Like, also, when you research this stuff, like if you're like doing, I don't know, crazy mind control on rats, day to day, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like you're injecting like weird tubes into a rat, and then you like do an experiment and it moves to one place in the corner, and then you're done, you log in your journal, and then it's like the next day, you know? But in reality, when you like zoom out and you like look at the whole picture, it's like, whoa, we're doing a lot of crazy stuff. Like, what do you mean we're growing organs? Like, that's the thing. Like, we're growing organs and cloning sheep. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Do, 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 do. Carbon, what do you think about putting super cold metal rods in streets to make levitating cars? I think the cryogenic cooling cost in that would be really insane, but maybe. All right, okay. Are you gonna watch the NASA launch on Sunday? Are they launching something? What are they launching? I didn't even know. I haven't kept track. NASA launch Sunday. Do I? Oh! It's a new telescope. It's one of the last Falcon Heavy launches. Huh. I hope they do a better job this time. Wow, it's a sexy satellite too. Oh my gosh, it's gigantic. What the heck? Wait, let me show you the satellite that they're launching. It's huge. It's massive. It's massive. Look at this guy. Look at that bad boy. Wow. Oh, I'll see if I can. I need to check. I think I can, but I'll try. Yeah, they're replacing the Falcon. Yeah, they are. But don't worry, they're like working on like a newer and bigger rockets and spaceships. It's like part of the plan, you know. It's always supposed to be like a transitional technology. Okay. Take care, everyone. I will go wrap up. Right, and go wrap up. I'll go wrap up. We're gonna leave now. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave.
Bye.
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 What if I don't want to leave? What if I want to stay and hang out with you guys? What if I want to hang out more? Please. Then stay. Oh. But I need to go. I have work to do. I don't want to go. I don't want to do my work. Fine. Okay, goodbye. See you later. Whatever. See ya, losers.